So God has commanded us to heal the sick, to raise the dead, to cleanse the lepers, cast out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. I want to talk about how you have received. Did you deserve the blessings God gave you? Did you deserve the deliverance God gave you? I want to talk to you as if we're all here in the same room. So, what I want to speak is if each of the things I say applies to a different person. So, I'm going to say you, but I mean all of the people that are going to hear this video. Someone in this room has been healed of a physical affliction. Someone in the radius of my voice has been healed from a mental affliction, an emotional affliction, a volitional affliction. Someone in this conversation has had a relationship raised from the dead, has had a dream raised from the dead. Everyone who is saved has been spiritually raised from the dead. Very few of you, if any, have had physical leprosy. Many of you have experienced profound isolation and shunning. Most of you have known someone whose lives have been upset by the things that bring demons into people's lives. That is, the occult, witchcraft, practicing heathen religion. Why do I say that? Your qualifications have nothing to do with this. When you try to talk yourself out of how this doesn't apply to you, how you might say to yourself, I'm not called to heal the sick. I'm not gifted like that. I'm not an apostle. I'm not a prophet. I'm not immensely Pentecostal. Or I'm not called to raise the dead. It's too crazy. I'm not called to cleanse lepers. I don't have a gift of healing. I'm not called to cast out demons. I don't have the gift of ekbalism. You were given this freely because it's God's will for his hands and feet to do these things. You were drafted. You're not being given a, if you'd like to. You were drafted upon salvation to be the hands and feet of God. Now, if you want to be the kind of person who receives benefit and doesn't pass those benefits on, you can be like the Dead Sea. Dead Sea is a place in Israel that a river flows into it and it doesn't flow out. That is what this is, to be someone who's received the supernatural deliverance and healing of God and say, I don't want to pass that forward because I'm not qualified, because I'm not gifted. There's no gift of prayer. There's no gift of healing as far as I can tell. It is obedience to the Word of God. The Dead Sea accumulates so much salt that nothing can live in there. So think about this. You could be so full of the blessing of God as to be unable, and then if you chose not to have an outlet, you could be a dead place. If you chose not to outflow the things that God gave you. Think of this very carefully. You have received this freely with no qualification on your own other than it's the will of God to heal the sick, to raise the dead, to cleanse the lepers, and cast out demons. Consider the terms upon which you receive those things. Consider whether your response is, I am thankful, or I feel so content, I'm going to float here in a dead body of water until Jesus comes back. Let's think about that. I'm going to resume this tomorrow. Consider, do you want to be the Dead Sea? Do you want to be something into which supernatural blessing flows and from whom it does not outflow? Please like and subscribe.